3.2% profit in a fast-moving New York session. In this video, you'll see how, by using PATI criteria, I managed to take 3.2%, that worked out to 80 pips profit, in a relatively short period of time once the market started moving. Okay, I'll get straight over to the charts. Please remember to hit subscribe, and if you'd like to find out more about the way that we trade at the Price Action Traders Institute, go to my website www.uk2asia.com and you'll find all the details there. Over to the charts. Okay, just sat down, taken 3 trades as I've seen entry criteria immediately looking at these charts. So you can see, I'll just talk you through these. The pound US dollar, saw this hitting an entry point here. Taking this short at 25, looking for further downside movement on the pound US dollar. Pound Japanese yen, again, saw an entry point here. Straight in on that short, looking for further downside movement. And the New Zealand dollar US dollar, not really doing a great deal, sideways for a long time, but it's hitting an entry point. I'm looking for either weakness on that New Zealand dollar or strength on the US dollar, looking to push this down. Taking this one at 92 as it came through one of our entry points. So that's it, that's the 3 trades that I'm holding right now, and like I say, looking for further downside movement. Just got a new candle opened. I'll pause for now. I'm going to have a flick through these charts, see if there's any other entry points I can take, and I'll be back soon with an update for you. Okay, 2 minutes into the New York Open. No changes, still holding those same 3 trades. The pound US dollar still holding that, although price is pulling back just above where I actually took that entry. Pound Japanese yen, again, same with that, that's pulling back into the red at the moment. And the New Zealand dollar US dollar still hovering around right on that entry point right now. So that's it, just those 3 trades, not seeing much price action at the moment, no opportunities for entering into anything else right now. Okay, I'll pause again and be back soon. Okay, back again, seeing some crazy price action, some taking off, some reversing. But I'll flick through these and show you the trades that I'm in at the moment. Taking a few more trades, and I've been stopped out of a few as well. So let's go through everything here. Euro US dollar, taking this at 16 as it came through an entry point, looking for further downside movement on this. Just taken this one on this active candle right now. Euro Japanese yen, took this on that last candle as it came through an entry point. That was at 67. Again, looking for that further downside movement, looking for that weakness on the euro. Pound US dollar, this one I took and I got stops out on this, the initial trade. Got a re-entry set up there ready to go if it happens, but for the time being I'm actually out of this. Took a full stop on that. That was 10 pips I lost. Pound Japanese yen, my initial trade on this, I got stops out on this, losing me 12 pips, and I've just taken a re-entry as it's come up through an entry point now. Again, taking this short, looking for that further downside movement. Just one re-entry on this. If I get stopped out on this one, I'm not going to be taking any more on the pound Japanese yen. US dollar Japanese yen, just seen this hit an entry point and come through at 99, taking this long, looking for further upside movement. US dollar Canadian dollar, still holding that trade. Seeing that Canadian dollar weakness is allowing this to push up a bit, and a bit of US dollar strength coming in as well, coming into play. Canadian dollar Japanese yen, this was a trade I took this short and got stopped out on this, losing 12 pips. So that's the 3 stops that I've taken. And the New Zealand dollar US dollar moving nicely now. This was one of those first trades that I took, seeing it move down through this 80 level. And in fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to lock a couple of pips in on this one. So I can't lose anything if that spins round, but looking for it to come down towards this 50 level where I've got my take profit right now. Okay, so I'll quickly run through those again, just showing you where I am. US dollar Canadian dollar holding that, that's moving nicely. US dollar Japanese yen, we're definitely seeing some strength on that US dollar right now. Pound Japanese yen, not good there, that's pushing up towards that previous day's low. If it pushes through that, and there's every chance it's going to go through and hit my stop loss. Euro Japanese yen, just holding below the entry point there, looking for further downside movement on that. And the Euro US dollar, that's pushing down nicely on that US dollar strength. I'll pause again and I'll be back soon if there's any updates for you. Back with an update, still seeing some reasonable price action and some follow through this afternoon. So I'll just run through these quickly to show you where I am. Euro US dollar, Like I said, I took this a little while ago. I've locked in 2 pips on this for the time being. In fact, I'm thinking I might lock in a little bit more on that. Going to lock in 5 pips. Locking in 5 pips on the Euro US dollar. Euro Japanese yen, locked in 2 pips on this as well. Just over 2 pips I've got locked in on that. Pound US dollar. This one I've taken a re-entry as it's come through an entry level there. And looking for that further downside movement. Already got my take profit in place, ready just in case this makes one of its spiky, crazy moves that we've seen on the pound so far. So take profits in place there, ready to take that out if it does that. Pound Japanese yen. Seeing this move down nicely now. Not got anything locked on this just yet, although I think... Let me see. 2.18. Yeah, I'm going to lock 2 pips on that just to be on the safe side. Okay, 2 pips locked in on the pound Japanese yen. US dollar Japanese yen, still holding that. Hasn't really done a great deal. Pushed out of this area where it's been right throughout the Asian session and London session. So waiting for that to push up a little bit further. US dollar Canadian dollar moving nicely. Been up through that 50. I locked in a few on that. I'm going to move my stop up to lock in 10 pips on that. So that's 10 pips locked on the US dollar Canadian dollar. And the New Zealand dollar US dollar, seen it push through this 80 level, moving down towards this 50. I'm going to lock, see what I can get on this. I'm going to lock 10 pips on that as well. So 10 pips locked on the New Zealand dollar US dollar. Okay, so that's where we are right now. I've got 20 pips locked on those two. Nothing on this one just yet, not even moving. Pound Japanese yen, looking for that to spike down a bit more so through this 80 so I can lock in a little bit more of what we've got going on there. Pound US dollar moving down through that level where I got in. And like I say, looking for that to move down towards that 0.0 where I've got my take profit. Euro Japanese yen coming back down to that 50. It's pushed up against that 50, pulled back a little bit. Looking for it to push through that 50 and possibly down towards that 20 level. And the Euro US dollar, as we're watching this now, it's pushed through that 0.0, heading down towards that 80 where I've got my take profit. So, let's see if I can lock a little bit more on this. I'm going to lock 10 pips. I'm locking 10 pips on the Euro US dollar. So, at the moment, those pips I've got locked in will bring me back up to around about break even. Okay, I'll pause for now and I'll be back soon with an update for you. Okay, back again. After seeing this big push here, going through my results, I was happy with what I saw and I punched out of all trades. So I'm flat in the market. I'll be back with an overview in a little while and give you the results that I've taken today. Had a good day today, so I'll be back soon with the update and to give you the results. Okay, so back with a roundup of today's trading. Took 10 trades in all, 7 winners, 3 losers, and I'll just quickly run through these and show you what I did and the pips I took on each of these trades. So Euro US dollar, you can see where I got in here. Took this as it came through entry point and punched out of this here. All of these trades I punched out of. None of them hit my price stops or my take profits. It just got to a point where I saw a reasonable amount of pips, thought that would do me for today. I've got other things to do as usual, and so I thought that would do, and I punched out. So Euro US dollar, you can see price came down here. I took 22 pips on this. Euro Japanese yen, 14 pips on this one. As you can see, price came down, pulled back a bit here, but from this candle where I got in, pulled back up here, but continued this nice move down. Seen it hit that previous day's low, and since then it started to pull back up again. So I'm quite happy with that result that I got on that EJ. Pound US dollar, took 2 trades on this. The first trade that I took came back and stopped me out, losing me 10 pips. Second trade, I got in on a re-entry at a level on this. Saw it pull down 10 pips, and that's where I punched out, giving me those 10 pips back. So break even on the pound US dollar. Pound Japanese yen, again 2 trades taken on this. The first one stopped me out, losing me 12 pips. Second trade I got in on a re-entry just below that previous day's low there, and saw this come down. I punched out, giving me 14 pips. So ended up with plus 2 pips on the pound Japanese yen. US dollar Japanese yen. Took this as it came through an entry point. Saw it push up, pull back again. Happy that I punched out of that. You can see that price has pulled way back down to within this overnight range. So it gave me 5 pips on the US dollar Japanese yen. US dollar Canadian dollar, one of the first trades that I took when I sat down at the charts. Saw this entry point here, took it, and price just moved up beautifully to where I got out, and I managed to take 27 pips on the US dollar Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar Japanese yen, took this on an entry point, price pulled back and gave me a full stop on this, losing me 12 pips. And the last of the trades, this was one of the early trades that I took when I sat down and looked at the charts. I actually took this and a few others whilst the trade plan, while Kim was doing the trade plan, the live trade planning webinar. So New Zealand dollar, US dollar, saw this nice move down on this candle here, and I got out of that, giving me 22 pips. Okay, please remember to hit subscribe and hit the bell button, and if you do, you'll get the heads up as and when I post these videos. Quick roundup of today's pips taken and profit. The trades I took was 10, I won 7, lost 3, giving me a net total of 80 pips, and that equates to 3.2% profit on my capital. If you'd like to find out more about the way that we trade at the Price Action Traders Institute, you can go to my website, which is www.uktoasia.com. All the details are on there. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with another video.